everybody, welcome back to another episode of This and That. Today I have with me Isabel, and she is from. Go ahead, tell us why you think you're a geek.
So the reason why I think I'm a geek is because, well, first of all, you cannot see my room right now, but it's full like cover of everything geek. And then honestly, I don't think I'm a geek. I know I'm a geek because I just love it, and it's just a way of expressing oneself. And then it's also like amazing to see also the like being a geek is also being able to appreciate the art that other people do, and then being able to be in oneself, you know, um, being to able to see like be comfortable in oneself because obviously being a geek is always in like if you see in the society sometimes it's gonna be like, oh, you're a geek, you're kind of weird, whatever. But being a geek is actually like, embracing that science, like, okay, I like it, I have all of these things, I love it. It's being, being a geek is just, it's just being you. It's just liking things.
I love how you described it. We are not afraid to be ourselves. It's really what it comes down to. We like what we like, and if the rest of the world is not has not found out about it, because I'm sure that if they find out about it, like I don't ever remember when Game of have you watched Game of Thrones? Are you a Game of Thrones fan?
Oh, sadly, I haven't watched it. It's definitely on my like watch list, but
Yeah.
I definitely want to watch it.
But I remember when Game of Thrones started, and of course, it wasn't me. I heard the story from actually from a friend. So I started watching, and it was a geek thing, and it was very niche. It was like only geeks would watch Game of Thrones, and then the world discovered it, and now it's super popular. So that's what I'm talking about. Like if they only knew what we have, they will join, but they don't know yet. But we're here to tell them about it. And
Definitely.
I met you at a con recently, at a plastic con, which is a local con here in South Florida, and I thought your work was amazing and you're a great artist. So why don't you tell our viewers? And sorry, my dog is barking, but why don't you tell our viewers what you do? Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, so let me show what I do. So this is what I oh, there's the camera. This is what I do. Essentially, is LED lights, and then I essentially what I do is I work with the acrylic. So I basically do. Wait, let me show you. I get the acrylic. You can already see how much. But I get the acrylic and I do the design. So I go on the computer. I work on the design and then I put it on the computer and then I also do a laser cutting. So all of these, yeah, essentially everything is the thing that I do. Right now you cannot really see that much because there's too much light, but you can see it. Yeah,
And look,
it's yeah, and this it's like basically what I do, and then it is something that has taken me a lot of time to be able to do it. Yeah,
okay. You mean like to master it or to learn how to do it?
yeah, to master it. It took me more than a year to do. Yeah.
Wow. Well, first of all, before I get into how you got started, tell us the name of your business, or how, because I know you had a booth. So what under what where how can we find you? Where, if we want to see more of your work, where can we go? Stuff like that.
So right now I'm still a business that's growing. So the only thing that you can mostly see my work is at Pogachi Acrylics. So if you go to Instagram, it's gonna be at Pogachi_acrylics, and then that's where I post some of the things that I do. I still not like 100 up to date, so everything I done. But yeah,
Okay.
right
And
now,
if someone's interested in buying, do they just DM you? Do they contact you? Okay. And you
yes,
ship everywhere in the United States, everywhere in the world.
hmm yes, I
Everywhere.
still around the world, but at least like at this still something that I haven't done, so it's still something that I haven't. I'm sure that I'll be able to do it. It's just that I haven't done it yet. But yes, I do ship like to the United States, and then DM me, and then that's what I do. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. And I know you also do custom work. So if somebody's interested in, I don't know, say Star Wars, they can tell you, hey, I want this or that character, and you do that as well, correct?
Yes, of course. I actually, since I'm the one that does all the signs, literally I can do everything. For
Mhm.
example, I have a niece that was just born, so I did her name. I was like Macarena, and then the time she was born, like flowers around. I also have this person that wants to do a family photo of her late wife and daughter. So I'm also we're still working on that, and then I can do everything. Yeah,
But most of the stuff that I saw was geek related,
yeah,
right?
that's true.
You had a lot of DC stuff. Like I saw Batman. I saw some Marvel. Uh,
Mhm.
so you do focus mostly on that stuff.
Yeah, well, that is true. I especially focus on geek stuff, Marvel, like anime, DC, and all of that. That's exactly what I sell. When it comes to customs, I also do that, and then yeah, I mostly do like DC, like the anime things that people want to see, some cartoons too. You know, like for when it comes to costume, I essentially do the characters I've never seen before. Because you always have that one character that's like, oh man, I wish I could see him somewhere in some like a type of artwork or something. And then that's where I come in, like, hey, I can do a custom made so that way you can have the character that you want that you cannot find anywhere else.
It's
That's
true.
that I like.
Yeah, because yes, you see a lot of Marvel and DC and Star Wars everywhere, but then there's always that. You're right, that way. Even last when I was a plastic and I saw something that from my childhood, and I was like, oh, where did you find that? I need that right now in my life. And actually, I brought it home. So yeah, that's cool that you try to go outside the box, outside the what's already done. Although I would say that even if it's already done, and even if I have 100 Star Wars T-shirts, the stuff that you do is so unique, right? Because it has a light, it has the shape, it has a design. And tell me, do you do multiples of them, or is each one unique?
So to start, mostly I can do multiple of them because I do laser cutting. So once I get that design, I can do them. But I mostly don't have that many stocked up because I rather have like a lot of materials that way that people can be like, oh my god, look at this one, that's one's One Piece, look at it, you know. And then I love seeing that, but I don't have that many stocks. Mostly when I go to or like I sell cons, I have like one, two, or three at max. I don't have that
Gotcha.
many.
I got you. Yeah, I understand. You want to have a variety because you never know. I mean, and that's one thing about the community, right? That we're so diverse and we have so many different interests, and there's so much out there too. So yeah, that's great. Let me ask you about the name Pogachi. Where does that come from?
Oh, okay. So the name Pogachi came because when I was little, my aunt you started calling me Pochi,
Okay.
right? And then I was like, oh, I was thinking maybe that could be like a good way to like start a business, like do Pochi, like Pochi's Garden or something like that. But then I was like, okay, Pochi Garden isn't really gonna like tell what I actually do, you know? Like if I say garden, people are gonna think about like actually like plants and stuff. Even though I love plants, that's not what I'll sell. So I was like, I started like inventing like combining things. So I was like Pochi, and then I was like Podachi, and then I came like Pogachi. And I was like, okay, Pogachi sounds like a really good one, and I actually like it, so that's why I stuck with it. I was like, okay, Pogachi Acrylics. I like it.
That works. That works. I like it too. I think it's very unique. Tell me how you got started. I'm guessing you can draw since you were like 2 years old, but
Well, yeah, I've always, I mean, I I can draw, but the things that what I can mostly do is that I can kind of like interpret or like copy things really well. Since I was little, like my mother, she has always told me that I was really good at art. Ever since I was little, I would take like art classes and all of that, and she always told me to go and expand my creativity and all of that. So I had to like give her a huge thanks to her because she was able to be there for me and like tell me and do all of these things, you know. For me, she's the real artist, you know. Since she's the one that also works with acrylic, she also does her art in with acrylic, and then it's just amazing.
And how did you pick acrylics out of everything else? Because a lot of people just they draw or they do designs, but you picked a unique thing to do.
Essentially, it's my family. My families, they have a business of acrylic, and
Okay.
so when I was little, I would work with them in the acrylic workshop. Essentially, I would go to trash, just randomly like little pieces of acrylic so I can glue them together. And then as I got older, I was able to work in the laser because when I was little, I wasn't able to. And
Hmm.
so, and then I started, I was watching anime and all of these things, and I was like, okay, I think I can do this. And
Hmm.
then I started practicing, and then I was actually able to do it. I was like, oh my god, this looks pretty. I like it. And then that's essentially how I started.
Yeah, it does look very pretty. So, do you do this all from home, or do you have to go somewhere to work on this stuff?
So my parents, they have the acrylic workshop here too. So they have the warehouse. It's a
Okay.
pretty small. It's yeah, it's a decent warehouse, and then they have the acrylic machine over there. So I have to go to a warehouse to be able to do it.
Okay. Do you have specific days when you go to do it? Like you plan yourself, like on the weekends I'll go do somewhere, or is it just
Um,
whenever?
it's just whenever I have the free time. Honestly, I study engineering in a college, and it really takes a lot of my time. So sometimes the day before I call, like at midnight, I'm going to the warehouse. It's like, okay, I need more of this stuff, so I go and start cutting there. Yeah, this is
Okay.
when.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's how I work too. That's how I operate. Whenever I have time. Let me ask you about the custom work and the process. Like, let's say that I want something done. Let's say I don't know Kylo Ren, just because I'm staring right at him. So I want a Kylo Ren on an acrylic. Although I don't know, he doesn't. I don't know how he would look in color. Well, actually, yeah, like red Kylo Ren. So I have an idea in my head, right? Do I send you a picture? Do I just tell you the character, and if you know it, you go with that? Do you? What happens next? Do you create it and show me, and I can tell you, no, I don't like that he's holding his lightsaber upside down. Whatever. Tell me how the process works.
Essentially, I will go with one that I did recently. So it was Fizz from Hello Boss. No, yeah, Hello Boss. Yeah, for Hasbin Hotel. And then the person, she wanted to have the wrist like holding up the middle finger. I don't know if I'm able to do that. It was a scene that essentially he's just going like this, right? But the scene only goes to the torso up. So normally what I'd say is like send me a picture of exactly what you want, you know? And then if there's any modifications, for example, you don't like that's only from the torso up, you want the full body, send me the picture of the full body that you also want. So that way I can go and then combine them. And then also it works too if you have the picture of Kylo Ren, but he's holding like the lightsaber up, but you want it down, just tell me and I'll also be able to do it too.
Okay.
It's mostly send me something that I can work on,
Hmm.
and if you have something else that you want to add on, just tell me so I can do it too.
Okay. Perfect. And how long is the process? Let's say somebody contacts you today. About how long do they expect the finished product in their hands?
I would say about a week because it really depends. Because right now I'm on vacation, right? So I will have more time. But if it's like in middle of college where it's like finals day, okay, you can think of me like okay, giving it to you after the final system. But normally the designs, depending on what it is, does take a pretty long time. Most of the times, the designs they take like an hour or two. Like it really depends on what type of design it is, if it has too much detail or not. And then after that, most of the times the design is the thing that takes the longest time. And then after that, I go send it to the computer, the laser computer, and then I start cutting. The cutting doesn't take that much time. That's essentially like yeah, like each piece may take like 10 minutes max,
Okay.
and after everything is done, I have to see if it actually will look good
Right.
because there's still some acrylics that when I do the designs they end up being wrong, like not being wrong, but the line the light isn't able to travel as much throughout the keys, so I have to redo it. So it really depends on how it is, but in but it really depends. If it's in like a good day, I would say like if you, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of like rambling, but essentially if you order, I think that within a week it should be fine.
Okay, that's a pretty fast turnaround. I expected it to be longer. So that, yeah, great job. um, I mean, I know that it takes talent to do, and that you have. 'Cause I have seen it, and we'll somehow make sure that there's a link so that they can viewers can go check out your work and stuff. Um, I was gonna ask you one more thing and I forgot, but it'll come back to me. I mean, are you the only one that does this, or do you have any family members or friends that like are like, oh, I like what you do. Show me how to do it.
So I really don't have that. Like, I have friends that are like, "Oh my god, that's so cool," like I love it. And then if I ask for help, they'll help me out in like selling at the cons and all of that. When it comes to the signing, I mostly do it alone. Also, for the commission that I have coming up, I know that my girlfriend, she wanted to help do the drawing and all of that. So that way the customer is able to get the best of thing because she is a pretty good artist too.
Okay.
Um, but also my cousins, I have some cousins that also came here to visit and all of that, and then they're also geeks themselves. So I normally just tell them, hey, is there anyone that you wanna do, And then I also show them how to do the things. Too. My cousin from Venezuela, he likes Naruto a lot, so we were able to do Naruto for him. And then my other cousin, she really likes League of Legends. And then, I don't know how it's called in English, but jamás uno sin el otro. The sheep and the wolves is
Okay.
like, she did like a matching keychain. And so I always try doing the things that people like the best. So, and then like I also like, my family for them to also enjoy the things that I do. So I guess,
Okay.
yeah.
That's great. That's great. Where are you gonna be next? Or do you have any events coming up that we should know about?
Right now I don't really have that many events. I'm still waiting on the confirmation from Holiday Matsuri up in Orlando.
Okay.
But I know that I have Homestead Comic Con coming up.
Okay.
Yeah, Homestead is gonna have a Comic Con, and then it's gonna be, I forgot when it is. But it's gonna be, I think it's like September, November.
Okay.
That's gonna be happening, yeah.
Well,
And
soon.
yeah, and it's gonna be down there in Homestead. And then
Yeah, see, I think you don't mind driving because you're going all the way down to Homestead and then all the way up to Orlando. So
yes, I mean I still haven't done anything that's like outside of like full Miami where I have to go and stay over like hotels and all of that. That's still something new. I still have to like if I end up doing that, I have to like worry about how much the hotel is gonna cost, how much does the artist alley cost to be there, if it's like gonna be profitable. Yeah,
correct.
perfect.
Like, it's gonna be worth for you to do all that. How long have you been doing this for then? Like I guess you've been doing it for a long time, but like as a business or as something that you sell or you provide services.
Okay, I actually started this year. Yeah, my first con was Hero Hype. That was the first one that I essentially did, and then I started from there. I was like, okay, Isa. I on December I was like, okay, Isa, you're broke. You need to start making money. You have a product that you can sell, so you have to start doing it. Okay, and so I started. Yeah, I started on Hero Hype, and then that was back, yeah, at the beginning of the year, essentially. And
Okay,
that's
so
what,
it hasn't been that long. That's hey, but it's not just that it's gonna provide you with a profit, but I think it's you're gonna make people happy, to
yeah,
display your stuff. you're gonna make a lot of people happy. So so
Yeah.
it's a two-way benefit, you know. So
Honestly, that's I started because I was like, okay, so I need to start making profit. But once I started doing it, and then I was able to interact with more of the people that are the con, start talking
mhm,
about the things. That's when I started falling like more in love with it, and I wasn't worried about like, oh, if I'm making profit or not.
mhm.
Like for example, I had Misukon, and it was going like pretty slow, and then I was kind of like sitting there. I was just like, okay, I want to talk to people. So I literally like also went around starting to talking to all the artists and all of that. I was able to meet so many talented people, and then I was also bored. So I did like a game where it's like you can choose a game like Connect Four, Rock Paper Scissors, or Tic Tac Toe, and then if you won against me, you get like a free keychain. And so through that, I was also able to get like people and interact with people, and that's the thing that made me really happy. And then that's what I started liking about like the things. I was like, wow, like this isn't something. This is not business. This is like a hobby, something that makes me happy.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a great way. That's the best kind of business to have. One that makes you happy. You're doing something that you like. All right. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground. I do want to ask you the three questions that I ask every guest that comes on my podcast. I'm very interested to know because you kind of come from the same culture as me. We're both Latinos, so I'm interested to know. The first one I want to ask you is, what's your favorite movie? Uh, could be in Spanish.
No, it's okay. Okay, my favorite movie. Um, I was thinking about it, and then I have to say that one that really like touched me deeply was the Black Swan.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I mean that movie. It was kind of like a reminder. Okay, it's like an unhealthy reminder that it's okay to not be perfect because you know the consequences that can be. And I
Mhm.
don't know that movie. I watched it recently, so maybe that's why I still like my one of my favorites. So I was like, okay, that has to be like it touched me.
I think you get extra points because you picked a movie with a Star Wars character on it. A queen, right? Natalie Portman. So, all right, perfect. All right, second question. By the way, I love that movie. I need to watch it again. It's been too long, but it's such a masterpiece. I mean, it was nominated or won awards. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it was nominated.
I would not be surprised at all.
Yeah, yeah, me
I would
neither.
not be surprised at all.
So second question, you probably don't know this because we have not known each other for very long, but I'm in a band, so that's why the band's called At the Starlight. We actually have a first album coming out next Friday, August 16th, and so I always ask the viewers, the guests, to tell the viewers what's your favorite song.
My favorite song is one from that I listened back from when I was in Venezuela, and then it's called Flamingo by La Vida Boheme. And then yeah, that song it has always like every time I hear it, so I don't know. I'm a really sentimental person, so I the things that I like is because like there's sentiment in it, and then that's a song that my brother was able to teach me, and then I absolutely loved it. And then I also like the animation on YouTube, like the video is also really good, and then that has to be that's literally just my favorite song ever. Yeah.
Okay, Flamingo. I'm gonna look that up, and that's one of the reasons why I always, I think when you are a musician, when you play in a band, you wanna hear what other people listen to, what influences other people, especially cool people, right? Which is the
Mhm.
only people I invite to my podcast is cool people. So, and I always go and look them up and listen to them. So, thank you. I'm gonna listen to that one. I don't know that one. All right, and the last question, as you know, this is a podcast and a board game channel. So because of that, I always ask our guests, what is your favorite board game?
Okay. So my favorite board game has to be Catan. It's
Oof.
I mean, it's just amazing. And the way that there's so many like different scenarios, and then also that you can buy like extras, so that way you can have like so many more things to do. that one has to
Mhm.
be my favorite. It's just such a complex yet beautiful thing that's not only driven by like the chance of the dice, but also based on your strategy.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. You
yeah.
know, I'm always scared to ask this last question because a lot of the people that come on the podcast, even though they're geeks, they're not board gamers, right? And I'm always scared that they're going to give me a childhood game, and a lot of them do. So I'm always scared, but you nailed it, girl. You're like, Catan, are you serious? I have been obsessed with Catan over the last probably 2 weeks. I played on VR. I just there's no setting it up. There's no taking it down. You just get your goggles on and you're playing with people. And you see the sheep and
Oh,
the flying, and I'm obsessed with it. Been playing it for like so long, and it's such a classic too. And it's such a I think it's one of those games that it's a pillar of board gaming. So well chosen. I
thanks.
knew you were cool the minute I saw you.
Thank you. Yeah, honestly, I mean, Catan, my family, my brother got it for us for Christmas, and then literally at least once a week we played like the whole family, and then
uh,
it's beautiful. We play like in the board, like it takes like 10 minutes to set up everything up, and then like 1 hour, and then yeah, it's
yeah,
beautiful.
it's,
Hmm.
it's an awesome game. That's great. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing about your amazing work. And I'm so thrilled that we get such unique, talented people on the podcast, and you're definitely right there. So thank you so much for being here.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate you giving me this opportunity to talk to you and all of that. I appreciate it, and thank you for all the viewers to for watching us today.
Yes, then you play more games.
Okay, thank you so much.